guys, I'm going to go through lesson 2 of week 1's task with you on the creative project. And this week it's going through how to do a mood board and research on your project. So it's a research task that I've given you, okay? So the importance of research, as we talked about there, and we will talk about in a later lesson. Research is a really key part of the drama process, and it helps you develop your ideas. In Nat 4 and Nat 5, that is what's expected of you, to make sure that you're doing research on what your topic is. Now, quite a lot of times in drama, people will come up with an idea and they'll say, right, I've got an idea. This is a story about a girl who gets cyberbullied. And you go, do you actually know anything about it? And they'll go, not really. And you'll write, I want you to go away and do some research on it. And they'll find out a lot more information and a lot more key facts from it. And then from that, they can develop their story. I had a group of Nat 5 students many years ago who did this exact same task in what you guys are doing. Okay, and what they were asked to do, it was they got a topic on the word fame, and they were asked to go and research everything that fame could mean. Okay, and I'll go through my ideas and I'll explain how it's not just about collecting pictures, it's about giving you ideas and images which can inform your planning of your lesson or your drama, shall I say, okay? So what I've done here is I've given one supernatural. So supernatural is everything that's kind of weird and wonderful and paranormal, shall I say. So this figure here is crop circles. So then that's associated with supernatural. So then my play could be about crop circles. This one here is taking inspiration for the fact is there's various different gods, and a lot of people believe in gods and things that exist below the realms of possibilities. That's to do with tarot cards and maybe to do with fortune telling. I've got a scarecrow there, which again is to do with like haunted items. You know, that could be something that I was going from my drama. That there is inspired by the supernatural that I've taken from the Enchanted Forest, and it's actually pictures of the Cottingley fairies. And the Cottingley fairies were little girls who, in a place called Cottingley, cut out scraps and did these famous photographs and convinced everybody that there was fairies at the bottom of the garden. Okay, you can see there's a ghost there. I don't know if it's the mother of the child there. You can see maybe looking after it. That I've picked that one. I've picked an angel. That's kind of Romeo and Juliet. That's a bit of a still from that. If you wanted to go down, you know, that kind of romance. So I believe in fairies. Do you want something that fairies are, you know, making people's destiny? The idea of chance coming through. And yet I've got a girl with lots of dreams and maybe reincarnation that somebody has had a previous life before, and that can be told in flashbacks, etc. So you can see that my image board is completely the full page, and I've given lots of ideas of where I could go. There's actually Supernatural. I'm a big fan of that, actually, the TV show, and you can see that I've used that as well as it can be a sort of idea for an episode. So then I moved on to fame, which I got from the second one about dreams and ambitions. And I've thought, right, where am I going to go for this? So we all think about somebody famous. We think about the red carpet. Okay, so there it's there. As a famous quote, life without fame can be a good life, but what is fame with no life at all? Basically, it's kind of giving you the idea that fame sometimes comes at a cost. The Hall of Fame, we talked about the song about that, standing in the Hall of Fame. You can be Hall of Fame legendary for being good at something, and what's that person good at? Okay, an Oscar, fame itself does not really afford you anything more than a good seat in a restaurant, so that could be the price of fame. You could tell a story about an actress who became really famous and lost all her friends, etc., and ended up, you know, living on the streets. Okay, there's the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Likewise, there are people sometimes that sit in that are maybe homeless or whatever, so it could be a fall from fame. Fame is proof that people are gullible, okay? Believe that if you want. Being famous on Instagram is basically thing as being rich as monopoly. So basically that's pointless about somebody who's being famous on Instagram, but maybe their life is not what they see. There was a famous book called The Famous Five, which is about adventure stories, which I could then take it from there. And one of my favourite quotes, which I absolutely adore, is this one from Andy Warhol. It says, you will have your 15 minutes of fame, okay? And there's a sort of theory behind it. Everybody in the world will have 15 minutes of fame from one time or the other, okay? So I'm going to move on to control. I've used this because that's the symbol for hypnotism, and it's mind control. You know, under hypnotism, people being told to do things that maybe they're not do. You know, the idea of people being brainwashed. That was where I got that kind of image from. This is from an enlistment poster from the army. I'm telling you, on the June, I expect you to enlist in the army to save wars. It's an expectation. It's propaganda. He was obviously telling them what to do. Stay at home, break the chain. That's obviously quite modern just now to do with COVID. Yet again, we're being told what to do right now for our own good. I point ads out, and I think is for the best. But yet again, that is still relevant to the idea of control. You can see George W. Bush there talking to lots of different people. There was a lot of control that went on during World War II in Auschwitz as well, where they told people that Auschwitz was basically almost a holiday camp when in fact it actually wasn't. And I've got this lovely little image here, which I really is voodoo dolls, and the idea of, you know, controlling somebody for whatever reason, whether it's rejection, whether it's somebody cheating on you. There's an idea of making control and influence over someone's life. So that's basically what you do for lesson 2, guys, and I hope that's given you a bit more ideas of what to do.